Good evening and welcome to our election news headquarters. The story is developing and it's developing very, very fast indeed. It appeared after the poll of polls and the exit polls day before yesterday that there was a clear picture emerging where the BJP would perform to its best ever position, at least ahead of 225, perhaps some say ahead of 250. And the Congress party would fall to its worst ever position, somewhere close to 100, some say as poor as 75, lower than its tally in the Rajya Sabha. In this kind of a situation, many political parties are beginning to gravitate towards the BJP. Some of these are, not officially yet, but the NCP, Praful Patel, on Times Now day before yesterday, appearing to be open to the idea, not committing himself yet. Now, today we have a very clear statement which comes in from the BJD that there is a proposal from within the BJD of working together if required with the BJP, which needs official ratification. The fact that this has not been either denied by Mr. Naveen Patnaik or by any other party spokesperson indicates that the BJD is open to working with the BJP. Then a panel of AIADMK spokespersons is formed who will be present on all news channel debates on the 16th, which indicates the AIADMK is getting ready for its share of voice in the entire process of government formation. This is also followed by comments from AIADMK leaders, at least one of them, which indicate that that option is something which is open. I'd like to add a caveat. Neither Jayalalithaa nor Naveen Patnaik themselves have committed to the idea, but in parties as centrally controlled by the AIADMK and the BJD, no spokesperson would dare to even leave the option open without having, it is believed, some kind of unofficial sanction from the leaders on both sides. This, therefore, throws up the option of a super NDA. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin this special News Hour edition, keep one thing in mind. Ask any BJP leader today what went wrong for you in 2004. They will say we disregarded alliances, we got it wrong. The Congress party talked about alliances, knew how to do alliance arithmetic, they got it right. This time they got together a group of 28 parties, which is an expanded NDA before the elections, which now could grow to a super NDA after the elections. I'd like to very warmly welcome our panel this evening. Navika Kumar, Ajay Bose, Hartosh, Nirja Chaudhary, Sankarshan Thakur. Thank you very much on one side. This is neither left or right. It's only geographically or physically left or right. On the right, Meghnad Desai, thank you very, very much. Aarti Jairat, Sunil Alak, good to see you today. You're thrilled at the possibility of a super NDA.
The color of the shirt is moving in the right direction.
That's a very pale saffron.
Moving in the right direction. By Friday, you will see the bright one.
Well, we're going to have Dilip Padgaonkar having to match up with you. And Mr. Rajagopalan, senior journalist of the Varta Group, thank you very much. I'm excited to welcome you into this debate. Before I go to the first news package, I want to put out the numbers we are talking about here right now. This country needs a strong government. This country needs a stable government. An opportunity, both in terms of votes as well in terms of seats, for Narendra Modi to seriously go beyond the strength of the NDA, which Atal Bihari Vajpayee finally achieved after 3 experiments in 1999 to 2004. The numbers are now on your screen. Is a super NDA possible? Possibility number 1. A scenario short of allies. This is the poll of polls figure. BJP on its own, 250, 42 from the allies. The BJP on its own short by 22. The existing allies come in, that's 292. The AIADMK joins this number. If Jayalalithaa joins the NDA, poll of polls situation of 292, you create a super NDA. Let's assume she walks into the alliance, you have a figure of 319. If Mr. Modi wants to form a really stable government, he can think of the possibility of getting Jayalalithaa along. Now, the second option is if Mr. Modi says that we will not get Ms. Jayalalithaa along because after all, Ms. Jayalalithaa has given significant trouble to the Vajpayee government earlier. She's mercurial, she may not work for us. The BJD comes in and we are told evolved level of talks exists with the BJD. No official confirmation yet. Then you see this number go up to 304. And this is not idle speculation, ladies and gentlemen. We have spoken to several sources who say doors are open, conversation is happening. Summit level meetings are not happening, but this is not idle speculation. There are serious moves afoot to create a super NDA kind of formation. If everything possibly goes well, if the NDA plus AIADMK plus BJD enter into an alliance which rules India for the next 5 years, then this number actually goes up to a phenomenal 331. This is the super NDA formation right now. Now, the question is this: why does the BJP need a super NDA? A government can also last if it has about 200, 250, 260, because the Congress will be down to its lowest ever tally, which is why a basic question is being asked, and this is what several sources in the BJP and elsewhere told us, why they need a super NDA. One, you need the numbers to push through legislation, especially in the Rajya Sabha. If the numbers are inadequate, then the Congress with its numbers and the UPA with its numbers in the Rajya Sabha can stall key bills or at least make things difficult. I'm not even talking about constitutional amendments. Let's take a look at the numbers which are there in the Rajya Sabha right now. Navika, can you take us through that? What this means really in terms of the parliamentary arithmetic?
The NDA, along with BJP's 46 and other alliance partners like the Shiv Sena and the Shiromani Akali Dal have 54. The Congress plus UPA alliance have 79 and others have 107. So clearly a 54-member NDA will be extremely vulnerable, and that's something that Modi recognizes very, very well, and he wants to bolster these numbers. It's not just the game of Lok Sabha, but it's also the game of Rajya Sabha.
It's the game of governance. And nobody besides Mr. Modi and others would know, with these numbers alone in the Rajya Sabha, you can have a great performance in the Lok Sabha. But not just the political situation, foreign investors, the global community at large would want a greater equilibrium in the upper house if you want to have a control over the apparatus of government. Therefore, the talk is building up about a super NDA. Let's go across to our first guest, Manohar Parrikar, Chief Minister of Goa, joining us this evening. Manohar Parrikar, good evening. Mr. Parrikar. Good evening. Mr. Parrikar, you've seen the exit poll numbers, you believe them?
More or less.
More or less you do? Mr. Parrikar?
Yes.
Okay.
Because there are too many exit polls.
Okay. So Mr. Parrikar, my first question to you is, in this kind of a situation, do you think it is possible for the BJP to get even more allies together with it to form an even more stable political formation, which is informally being spoken about as the super NDA?
Yes, it should be, because I feel that many of the things which needs to be done require a lot of support of the other political setups, and also in Rajya Sabha, as you said.
How does the past political history get obliterated? How does that happen? I mean, we have had Narendra Modi attacking Naveen Patnaik, a strong alliance in Tamil Nadu against Jayalalithaa. Can political egos and recent history be forgotten, Mr. Parrikar?
No, those are election. I think election time attacks are to be considered as a election campaign. Nothing beyond that. Unless you are totally policy-wise against a political setup.
Right. So, super NDA, real possibility, is being spoken about, talked about in BJP circles?
I'm not aware about BJP circle because I'm in Goa, but I feel that it is a need of the hour for the country.
Right, Mr. Manohar Parrikar. I think that's very, very interesting. Mr. Parrikar, let's get some reactions from our panelists. Manohar Parrikar says a super NDA is a need of the hour for the country. Reactions towards this. Mr. Padgaonkar, please.
Mr. Parrikar, Dilip Padgaonkar here. There is talk in Delhi that apart from a stable and strong government, they also need strong, experienced leaders. Will you consider coming to Delhi to join the Union Cabinet?
Or joining the super NDA
Or
cabinet?
joining the super NDA?
Immediately I don't see the possibility, but it is a prerogative of the Prime Minister and I don't think I should encroach upon it.
Well, but I think a significant point being made here, it is a need of the hour. Need of the hour, Mr. Rajagopalan.
Correct.
But dependency, being dependent on Jayalalithaa, can that be the need of the hour for the
It all
BJP?
requires a bit the number, Arun. If Modi crosses that 272, he may not be depending on Jayalalitha's that 27 support, but he will on getting support of 11 MPs from AIADMK.
The equation changes completely. The
Why does it?
power equation, if Modi requires Jayalalitha's support to stay alive in the Lok Sabha, then it's a completely different relationship with Jayalalithaa from if Mr. Modi has already got a secure majority and then goes beyond that and says, listen, why don't you join? Let us sort of, make it a larger, more stable government. But if Jayalalithaa knows that she is the one who's keeping Modi alive, then she will make all kinds of demands.
No, but you can have a government in which she's involved even though you don't need her to
then it's different. So these two things are different.
My question goes to Mr. Manohar Parrikar. Mr. Parrikar, is this the game only for Lok Sabha numbers, or are the Rajya Sabha numbers also going to be important, because important legislations will need to be passed? So do you need support of more political parties, more in the Rajya Sabha, because the Lok Sabha numbers seem to be going in your favor?
It's not only question of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. I feel that country today needs a very positive and inclusive governance. That would be possible if more parties join NDA. It will also help in Rajya Sabha in certain matters, but a lot of things can be done even without legislative initiative also.
Right.
So it's not exactly question
Arnab, in your interview, Mr. Modi told you that he will take all chief ministers into his bandwagon.
Yes, he did.
What does it mean? That means he brushes aside Rajya Sabha, because all chief ministers belong to different political parties. He would like to take Jayalalitha's 11, other parties, NCP's 3 or 4, even Mulayam Singh Yadav's 10 or 11. Therefore, that is why he has enrolled that. Narendra Modi played a big politics on that.
What do you mean? He
Just one minute, one at a time.
He would not be depending only on Rajya Sabha.
First of all,
he will endorse that.
First, let me thank Mr.
He will endorse that. He won't end up with Rajya Sabha.
1 minute. Mr. Rajagopalan, I want to first thank Mr. Manohar Parrikar for joining us from Goa. And we are told that you are getting an interesting result. In Goa, you have big challenges. And Mr. Parrikar, there is a buzz about your role in Delhi. And some people say you're needed more in Goa.
I'll deliver 100% in Goa.
Well, Mr. Parrikar, thank you very much. Super NDA need of the hour from a top BJP leader. And Mr. Parrikar was also out there when Mr. Modi was made the campaign committee chief. And he's not a man who minces his words. Thank you very much, Mr. Parrikar. Talk to you on the 16th.
Thank you.
Okay, let's open up the debate now. Yes, Aarti, Super NDA.
See, it goes beyond numbers in the Rajya Sabha. The fact is that whatever policy decision Narendra Modi takes has to be implemented by the state governments. In our country, the way our structure is, many things are controlled by state governments, not by the center. For instance, land use, which is the most important thing for setting up factories, for increasing manufacturing, for building railway lines, transportation corridors, and so on. So he needs to get these state chief ministers on board so that he can implement his policy decisions.
But you don't need to form a Super NDA for that.
Yes, you do. Otherwise, of course you do. Otherwise, how is he going to get these? He needs to create a platform so that these chief ministers are on board. Look at him. Look at the people he's contacting. He's contacting people who run states.
Let's get a quick round.
Contacting people who run states.
Super NDA. First comments on that.
There will be terms of exchange. Again, as Ajayda said, depends upon the numbers and how much bargaining. Why should any chief minister who's ruling a state be just willing to oblige Mr. Narendra Modi just because he wants them to come in? They won't walk in just because he wants them to come in. There will be
a barter.
Trading. There will be
of
trading.
Course there will be
Definitely there will be barter. These special packages will be on road now. Definitely he will be giving special packages to every state. It is going to be done. Not that. Every chief minister, otherwise why should he throw out that strategy of chief ministers? A new one, Arun. When he talked to you, he said about that chief minister's conclave. He says that is national development agenda. All chief ministers. That means he is brushing aside Rajya Sabha.
So rather than go to the DMK.
Because he comes from outside Delhi, and he has always been interested in states and giving recognition to states. He's going to do a new federalism. That's what he keeps on saying. Much more National Development Council in a cooperative fashion rather than